Hi everyone, how are you doing? How was the full moon for you? I did notice online that there were a few people that were perhaps going a little crazy, not just locally but around the world, because if you look at the violence that happened in the football where fans were invading the pitch in France, that was around the full moon. And also there was a Donald Trump rally apparently in Alabama where he got booed because he told everyone to take the vaccine, so his own supporters were turning on him. So that was all going on in the midst of other people posting some questionable things on Facebook and whatnot. So, and obviously let's not talk about Afghanistan. So here's the astrology report for the 26th to the 1st of 26th of August to the 1st of September. It's quite a quiet week compared to last week, so there's a shorter video this week, and I've only picked today to look through because there's not really that much going on during the week. So I hope everyone's doing okay, and maybe let me know in the comments how your week's been, and let's look at the week ahead. The next week is going to have Mercury retrograde pre-shadow, not Mercury retrograde, sorry, didn't mean to alarm anyone. I have the going into pre-shadow and a few other things, so things are kicking off. So let's go into the astrology for this week. Okay, so the events and movements for the week, 26th of August to the 1st of September 2021. We have the 30th of August, the last quarter moon in Gemini. We have the moon moving through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and it ends the week in Cancer on Wednesday. Also on the 30th of August, Mercury enters Libra. Time for diplomacy. It's about relationships, family, and it may enlighten communications. Upcoming, we've got on the 6th of September Mercury entering the pre-retrograde shadow, and it will go retrograde on the 27th of September. Here's the chart for the 26th today at 10 o'clock, and not really that much is going on for the rest of the week, so I've kept it to this one single day for this week's report. Looking at that in more detail, the chart table is the Sun is in Virgo at 3 degrees, Moon in Aries 21, Mercury in Virgo 24 degrees, Venus in Libra at 12, Mars in Virgo 17, Jupiter in Aquarius 26 degrees retrograde, Saturn in Aquarius 8 degrees retrograde, Uranus in Taurus 14 degrees retrograde, Neptune in Pisces 22 degrees retrograde, Pluto in Capricorn 24 degrees retrograde, Chiron in Aries 12 degrees retrograde, and Lilith is 3 degrees in Gemini. The main aspects and notes: we have the Moon semi-sextile Neptune, Moon square Pluto, Mercury in conjunct Jupiter, Mercury opposite Neptune, Venus trine Saturn, Venus opposite Chiron, Saturn square Uranus, that ongoing one, Saturn sextile Chiron, and Neptune sextile Pluto. And with the retrograde planets, we have, of course, Uranus, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, and Chiron all retrograde at the moment. So let's look at today / tomorrow in more detail. So this week starts off with a lower intensity than last week, which obviously had that full moon in critical degree opposition. This time around it's a more subtle state of affairs, meaning it's a good time to focus on the more immediate aspects. Another opportunity to work on the basics this week's good old shadow healing and growth. The Sun is in Virgo, and it has no direct aspects today with planets, but it does square both the nodes of the Moon in Gemini and Sagittarius respectively. These may bring up feelings of kind of paranoia and challenge your ego. Remember that these are not real feelings, these are influenced by the nodes, and they perhaps take advantage of Virgo's innocent or at face value strengths. The moon is squaring Pluto today. This is an emotional check. It's linked with the sun and the moods, and it may bring up any abandonment issues lurking in the shadows, or feelings of regret or loss. Again, it's something to acknowledge, work through, move on. Mercury is quite prominent for today. There's an inconjunction with Jupiter and an opposition to Neptune. That's the planet of expansion and the one of imagination opposing our communication system, that's Mercury. This is likely to affect our communication, and it is a lookout or warning. Watch your words as we watch our words. Mercury in Virgo can be the innocent earth child, but it's also the sign that on the negative side can be seen as highly critical of others as they are of themselves. Neptune's imagination and Jupiter's drive for expansion may be a spark to a match if you're not careful. There's a need to be real with talk, but not too negative. The Neptune in Pisces dream may be trying to swerve you into a nightmare as you get carried away in the evilness of any particular situation. Jupiter can force unbalanced thoughts and may influence a kind of everyone else is an idiot apart from this person who is godlike, and I believe everything they say and I will follow them. So please, especially this week, don't go and join a cult. I mean, probably good advice anyway, but this week, do not join a cult. Put it on your list. Write it down now. Venus brings about positive influences with Saturn, as there's a Libra Aquarius thing going on here. There's a feeling to do something good for the world, local, wider community. The heart wants to help. The hindrance here is that the wounded healer Chiron exposes another wound in its opposition to Venus. This could be a close friend or family fallout. Someone triggers you or you trigger them this week. Not to forget, and I'm sorry to anyone who is sick of me saying this, well, sorry, not sorry, the big review with all the outer planets retrogrades is still going on, looking at our patterns as individuals, friends and families, the wider community. Take a peek. This review carries on as is until October, well actually the end of September, when in October Pluto and Saturn will go direct again, whilst Ceres and Mercury will have gone retrograde, so the energy is all mashed up again from there. The pre-retrograde shadow starts on the 6th of September, but the retrograde isn't until the retrograde itself isn't until the 27th of September. And we'll run until the 18th of October. Oh goody, I hear you say. That'll be in Libra, so it's going to concern partnerships, be it at work or at home. On the 30th, there's two things going on, but not enough to warrant a full review of the day in my opinion. Looking at the chart. There's the last quarter moon, so that's a squaring between the sun and the moon, Virgo and Gemini. So there'll be uneasiness there. And also Mercury entering Libra. Mercury entering Libra should take away some of the critical element of Virgo, and perhaps not overwork yourselves, martyr yourself at tasks. Mercury in Libra does sit in judgment though, of the self and of others, but it should be a more balanced kind of judgment, and it should be fair and decent. Mercury in Libra is good at sharing, and that's ideas, tips, and even material objects like food. So that's going to be a nice change, moving into that energy. And so really that's the short and sweet reading for this week. The astrology is going to get a little more interesting harsher, be more to talk about next week as we move into September. And that's it for now. This is Phoenix saying goodbye. Cheerio.